How about it?
How about it?
This is your third final battle.
This is my third final battle, and really amazing because, like you said, in my first final battle, we saw Athena win the championship in her hometown, minutes from where she went to school, minutes from where she lives. What a moment it was, and what a 2-year reign it's been, and it continues. And Athena, the world champion, has all this steam going into the Tokyo Dome in the International Women's Cup. It's very exciting.
It's kind of wild because you mentioned this with Red Velvet, but you know, we cultivated such a great women's division here. And it's become the highlight, in my opinion, and Caprice's opinion, of the show each week. But Athena's defeated almost everybody. Almost everybody. And I think Athena might need to see some challengers for maybe CMLL, maybe Stardom, because if Billy couldn't do it, and Billy was under her wing for 2 years and knows all her secrets, all the nooks and crannies, who will?
And speaking of which, I mean, that was pretty ominous what Athena just said about a minion expulsion coming off the big main event with Athena and Billy Starks tonight. I am admittedly looking forward to the Boxing Day Brawl on ROH TV. So many things to look forward to, and it's my first time here in this building. You mentioned it's my third final battle. I'm so glad I got to come and do this show with you and all the great fans and with the great members of the media here tonight. I've been a wrestling fan for many, many years. I've never been here. Today was my first day, and I think we put on a great show, and what a great way to start this great weekend.
Yes.
We've had a great night tonight. It's going to be a great Christmas collision tomorrow. We're live on TNT coast to coast. The show starts at probably roughly 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. What a lead-in our great partners at Warner Brothers Discovery have given us. It's a great opportunity to follow the National College Football Playoff on TNT. The show is going to start live coast to coast, so that means on the West Coast, you know, collision could start as early as 5 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. You know, it's going to be our usual Saturday night start time on the East Coast, roughly, but what an opportunity to go on after that game, and there's going to be people all over the nation watching that college football playoff. It's a great opportunity for AEW, it's a great opportunity for all of us, and it's a great vote of confidence from us, from TNT, and I think it's going to be a great Christmas collision. It's really, I think, one of the strongest lineups in the history of Collision, one of the best TV lineups we've ever had tomorrow night here in this building.
Yes, sir. I mean, the Continental Classic, I mean, it's coming to a head at this point, and so many of the dream matches are still on the table. They're still on board, and most of them are happening tomorrow night.
And most of the competitors in the field are still very much in the mix. I mean, you have really, at this point, 10 out of the 12 competitors, 5 out of the 6 in each of the gold and the blue league are very much alive, and so many exciting possibilities for the World's End pay-per-view. We're only 8 days from World's End. I mean, roughly just over a week away. It's next Saturday, World's End. Christmas Collision tomorrow will mark a huge milestone, and then it's going to be so nice. Christmas night pro wrestling, our first ever Christmas night Dynamite. Wednesday is Christmas and Wednesday is Dynamite, and we're going to have a great show coming from here in Hammerstein. That's going to be great. In the Continental Classic matches, we'll set up who will go to the semifinals at World's End. It's going to be a great World's End, and it's going to be a great Continental Classic, and it should be a great Christmas night Dynamite on 34th Street, here on 34th Street.
Absolutely. Tony, I think we have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions.
Be great.
Questions over to Tony now. Sorry.
Hi Tony,
Hey.
Kimmy Sokol from the Pop Break. So you mentioned this is your first time in this building, obviously a great start with Final Battle. Is there interest in coming back for other Ring of Honor shows in the future?
Yes, I would love to come back for ROH, and I'm excited to debut AEW here tomorrow night on TNT. So I think it would be great to come here again for ROH and AEW. Today was my first time in this building, and we're going to be here all weekend, but I think it's safe to say we want to come back again. This has been a tremendous experience, AEW at Hammerstein, or excuse me, Ring of Honor at Hammerstein. And tomorrow, excited already, getting ahead of myself, for AEW at Hammerstein, starting tomorrow for Christmas Collision. It should be a great time. I would love to come back here. What a debut event it's been for our family of wrestling, and it meant a lot to be here for this event. There's a great tradition for ROH and pro wrestling here, so it was great for us to come here for the first time. And great to celebrate Final Battle here. Thank you. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. Tony, obviously the new TV deal for AEW is transformative for the company. In the weeks and months up to it, every time you did one of these scrums, you'd say we were this close to the end zone. For Ring of Honor as a brand, there's always a lot of speculations about it leaving WatchROH.com, possibly ending up on television. Are we on the field? Where are we at this point as we head into 2025? specifically for the Ring of Honor brand?
Well, we've had some great conversations about it. It's a great question, Mike, and I'm still, very excited about what we're doing on WatchROH.com. We're building a great audience since we took over a couple years ago. We've really built this thing and come a long way. For me, a lot of the attention, frankly, is going to be on the mother of all simulcast, the launch of AEW, going to not only continuing our great wrestling every Wednesday on TBS, every Saturday on TNT, but the big change with the simulcast is going to bring a lot of new audience into AEW, and I think it is going to create more opportunities for ROH. But you saw the big announcement yesterday. Warner Brothers Discovery themselves put out a great press release. They highlighted there's going to be lots of AEW content coming, including the live shows simulcasting. The library is going to be going up step by step. We're going to build a great library of content, and I think we have so much great wrestling with AEW, hundreds and hundreds of hours we built over the last 5+ years, but there's a great library with ROH, there's a great history with ROH, and we're doing great shows like this show tonight, and excited for the TV Thursday. So I think there's going to be opportunities for sure, but I can't tell you exactly what yard line we're on, but we've made a lot of progress is building this ROH brand and building up AEW. It's really a special time for us as a company and as a family, so it's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How you doing, Tony? J.O. Cigar from Wrestle Boss. I love a good sync question. We talked about this at the time. Frank Sinatra. Let's get in depth. I would love to know the process, why this record, and just kind of like how long did it take for you to get to tonight to get it cleared?
Well, for the King of New York, I thought it would be very appropriate. Chris Jericho, the Nueve, is the King of New York, so what better way for him to come to the ring for his championship match than New York, New York. And I thought it would be something special, and it came out great, and I thought it was a great part of the presentation. And since we all woke up in a city that never sleeps, we wanted to play that song, and it was a great moment and something special for the final battle. Matt Cardona was tremendous in the match. So excited to have Bandito up here after the excitement about Bandito and the vignettes. He's a former ROH World Champion. We haven't seen Bandito in action in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it was really great to see him back, because when I first acquired ROH and first started working with you, Ian, Bandito had been the reigning champion, and of course we had the match to crown the undisputed ROH champion. He was the lineal champion at the time.
Yeah.
And it was great to get Bandito, who actually missed Final Battle due to, I believe Bandito had missed Final Battle 21 due to COVID.
To COVID,
And
yeah.
we crowned interim champion, and then we crowned the undisputed champion at my first ever event, Supercard. That was my first time working with Bandito. I really wanted to sign Bandito when we first launched AEW. And he actually made a choice, he stuck with ROH. And he became a great world champion for them. And then when things changed in the world of wrestling, when I acquired the company, Bandito became a great, great asset to AEW and ROH. And recently in AEW, we'd seen the vignettes. Of course, Chris Jericho and Bandito, during Chris's previous ROH title reign, during the Ocho, had a fantastic, fantastic match on Dynamite just over 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Bandito, again, he's held the title, he's been a great champion. It was exciting to have him return tonight in New York, but also great to have the King of New York, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, I mentioned he's the Nueve. His 8th world title reign, the Ocho, it ended at Final Battle 2 years ago. And that was a really tremendous event. It was 2 years ago. It was in Arlington, Texas, which is going to be the home city of AEW All In Texas, July 12th at Globe Life Field. It's going to be a great event. It was at UT Arlington in the arena 2 years ago. It was an afternoon show, Final Battle, and that was where Chris Jericho's prior reign ended, and who knows what's in store now with the King of New York for his 9th title reign. But I would be remiss not talking about what a great show that Final Battle was for a moment, because we saw Athena capture the title there. Last year we saw Athena Billy, and this year ran it back. What a reign Athena's had over the past couple of years. Chris Jericho now 2 years later retaining the title after he had tapped out in the swing.
Yeah.
Really redeemed himself 2 years later to see the former champion Bandito make his return. But the first thing and the last thing and the biggest thing I always think of when I think of Final Battle 2022 is the double dog collar match with the Briscoes and FTR. Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe versus Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. We heard the great words from Dax and Cash. had a fight for the fallen, and they're going to do something really special. And I'm excited to have Dax and Cash return in their hometown, Asheville, North Carolina, to raise money for the victims of the hurricane and just hurricane relief. And it's a really important cause. So much of a tragic situation in North Carolina. Dax and Cash trying to do the right thing. But when I think of Final Battle 2022, I think of that big night. I think of the Briscoes breaking through. I think of the culmination of the greatest tag team trilogy of all time. And for me, and I think for a lot of us, I know for me that was the last time I ever saw Jay Briscoe. And I think for you and for most of us, that was the last time most of the crew saw Jay, was Final Battle 2022. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up that we all miss him. And tonight was the first Final Battle without a Briscoe in 19 years.
I think this is 2005.
Yeah, it was the first time in 19 years without a Briscoe on Final Battle, but there will be a Briscoe tomorrow here at Hammerstein. There will be a Briscoe on Christmas Collision. Mark Briscoe is doing great. He is rocking in the Continental Classic. Mark is on a roll, and Mark has a great opportunity against Beast Mortos. And Mark and Mortos should have a great match here in Christmas Collision. Mark is very much in contention in the Continental Classic, coming off a couple of great wins. He's already exceeded what he did last year, and Mark has a good chance to go on to World's End to the Continental Classic semifinals.
He could get to 9 points tomorrow, and then from there, who knows what happens, because that block is locked tight. I mean, it's five-way tie at this point, I believe.
It's insane what's happening in both the gold and the blue leagues. You have 5 out of the 6 competitors in each league who mathematically have a very good chance. So many exciting scenarios going into Christmas Collision tomorrow and Christmas Night Dynamite on Wednesday night. But it's been a great night here at Hammerstein. I'm looking forward to working with you more this weekend, Ian. We've had a great Final Battle, and we're going to have a great Christmas Collision, and then we're going to have a great Christmas Night Dynamite. I can't think of any way I'd rather be than with pro wrestling. But what a great ROH Final Battle. I just wanted to thank all of you great members of the media. Without all of you and the people who cover AEW and ROH both, we wouldn't have all these great opportunities. Thank you for covering us. Thank you all. Anybody who traveled and came into the city for this, thank you for all being here. And I hope to see you all for Christmas Collision and Christmas Night Dynamite. Thank you all very much.